You've just booked a destination wedding and you're wondering, how do I not end up stressed? How do I not end up unprepared? Or worst case, without your kit? Don't worry, today I've got your back, I've got you covered. Here are some of my must-know tips and hacks on how to plan like a pro. Number 1, get to know the location virtually. Sounds a bit weird? Let's get into it. I typically scope out the area and try and figure out where's best or nearest to stay. And then I stalk the venue's website and social media. Why? Because knowing the layout and the vibe makes everything run so much smoother when you eventually do turn up. Number 2, booking your flights and accommodation. Google Flights is great for scanning the best deals, and I always try to book an aisle seat, preferably near the front. And my pure logic for this is that you're more than likely going to be the first off of that plane, and it just means that you can get through customs a lot quicker and get on the road to where you need to be. For hotels, this one's crucial. I stay as close to the venue as you possibly can. Obviously, it's a fine line. Normally with these destination weddings, they've got their guests staying local, so you don't want to be sort of literally on the doorstep, but like being sort of 5 or 10 minutes away, I think is perfectly fine. The main reason I try and stay as close as possible is purely because I'm eliminating any stresses. Push comes to shove, if I'm 5-minute drive away, I could walk it if something happened to the car. It's just trying to eliminate anything that can potentially go wrong. So what I've got on screen is pretty much a destination that I am doing later this year. I haven't booked anything for it yet, and I just thought, you know what, it might be handy to hop on and show you how I would do it in sort of like real time. So what I would typically start by doing is getting Google Maps open and seeing where the venue is. I would probably be scanning for somewhere a little bit more like Siena, for example. It's around 30 minutes. That would be perfect. After that, I would then go to Google Flights. Here down below, you can see now, these are the flights that are going in that day. For example, this Ryanair flight here, that would do me absolutely fine. So let's see, just click on that one and then return in. So I'd probably then go with that. It'll just take you to those websites. You go to Ryanair website and you go to the EasyJet website and then you just book your flights. Now, depending on your circumstance in terms of who you're taking out, your budget, what you've quoted the couple for your travel costs, I can't tell you where to stay, but I would just say try and stay, as close to like potential parking and etc. facilities, food, cafes, that kind of thing. Finally, obviously then get a car out. I find booking.com really easy for this. The page will take you to like a recommended page. I try and click off of all that and just click the small car. Fiat 500 at £90 for the 3 days. Perfect. Number 3, pack like a pro. Come on. So for things like your camera, your lenses, obviously your audio equipment, the things that are super, super valuable, put that in your carry-on. And then for everything else, I'd say just pop it in the hold. Take the chance. Number 4, arrive early and scout the venue. Now, I've already sort of alluded to this with like the virtual stuff, but this time, I think as soon as you land, if you can, to scope out the venue ahead of the wedding. Now, the reason I do this is because I like to get a few establishing shots, get a few drone shots, just to sort of ease that burden on the day of the wedding. And you're getting to see the venue. It's not gonna be daunting when you turn up on the first day like, shit, where is everything? What am I doing? But yeah, in terms of your travel logistics, I would always try and turn up to a destination wedding a day before the wedding. Just as a little personal point on that as well, I think it's quite nice to get there early so you're not stressing, so you can enjoy it, because ultimately doing a destination wedding isn't as luxury and sort of enjoyable as it might look online. It is stressful and you're on your own most of the time. So I think eliminating these stresses, I feel like it just makes for a much nicer experience. Try it, see if you like it. Number 5, check the weather. I'm being serious. It sounds so obvious as well, but it's so true. If it's going to be 30 degrees and you're out all day shooting in that, make sure to take some sun cream. If you're somewhere where it's going to be sort of very like bug heavy, mosquitoes, things like that, take some insect repellent. And then on top of all that, make sure you hydrate. I'm terrible for this on a wedding. I do take a big bottle of water. Because weddings are so fast paced and I always like to be in the mix, I like to be shooting, sometimes it's really difficult to sort of have a break yourself because you're so like invested and shooting. But that's a big one that I'm trying to get better at myself. Number 6, bring extra batteries and the right adapters. Some venues are so remote that I think it's so much better just to make sure that you take enough batteries to last you the entire entire day. I would say especially for destinations, often you're told to sort of like take minimal kit, don't take as much as what you would at a UK wedding. I'm the opposite, I take more. I'd just rather take extra of the stuff that I know I need. And obviously as a little caveat to that, make sure that you bring the right adapters for any of these destinations. Number 7 is creating WhatsApp chats with the rest of the supplier team or vendors. Normally, typically it involves, you know, the videographers, the photographers, the planner, and then maybe the couple, but typically not. Just keep it to the vendors. I think people are then able to feel they can ask questions. It's great for comms on the day. You can just pop a little message in the chat. It's just super, super handy. A little pro tip. Number 8. Back up your footage immediately. A lot of these feel really obvious, but I think with the destination, the excitement and sort of the buzz off of the day, sometimes it is easy to forget to do something as simple as that. Now, I personally use multiple hard drives. You might use a cloud or something similar, but the one thing I would highly, highly recommend, as well as backing up to your hard drives, I would keep the footage on the SD cards until I'm back home, back in the office, and I've backed up additionally here as well. And that's it. That's it done. If you have any tips yourself, I'd love to hear it in the comment section below. Let's have a chat, let's create a discussion. And if you enjoyed the video, if you got something from it, then I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, a like. And if you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.